Happy New Year! And welcome back to Behind the Box. It is now 2019 and we thought, let's do our top 10 games of 2018 video. So we did a video last year of 2017 that was top 5, so you're getting double the video, so you're welcome for that.
Lucky you!
Now last year when we did this, we had a couple of rules. They will still apply. I'll just refresh you on those. Firstly, the game has to have come out in 2018 for our top 2018 games. And this is going to be according to Board Game Geek. Now there is one exception to that, and we'll explain when we cover that game. The other thing is that we've obviously not played every game that's come out this year. There's probably a lot of games that would have made this list if we'd have played them. You may have games that you think we should have played that we haven't. We might own the game but just have not played it yet. So this is sort of, as of right now, our favourite games. This might change over the coming months, but we're probably not going to do any sort of update video, so it's not really a big deal. And we've also done a review on most of these games. So if you want to know more about them, then we'll leave links to those so that you can learn more information, because we're going to kind of do a condensed version of our thoughts of these games in this list. Now, something else we're doing new that we've never done before is we're going to be doing a giveaway of one of these games. So stick around until the end of the video and we will cover how you can be entered for it and obviously what the game is. So without further ado, Lindsay, kick us off with our number 10.
Number 10. So, this is kind of breaking the rule, and it's because we are two different people and we have different opinions about games. For the top 9 games, we were totally, in agreement with those games. They might have been a slightly different order, but we loved the same games. Number 10 was slightly different, so we decided, okay, well, we'll talk about 2 separate games. So my number 10 is Spirits of the Forest, which is a delightful, competitive game where you're collecting tiles which represent these spirits of the forest, and you are just trying to work up the most points. And we loved it, we reviewed it, great game.
It was, yeah, it was really good. The fact that it didn't make my top 10 doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I really did. I just had one that I just slightly preferred overall. And now this was a game we've also reviewed called Donning the Purple. Lindsay didn't actually like this game. She appreciated the design and the ingenuity of it, but the overall gameplay experience, it's not your type of game.
Nah.
I really, really liked it. This game is asymmetrical. It's for 3 players, and you each take on a different role in a Roman Empire. So one of you is the emperor, one person's the heir, and I think the third person was like a politician. This game was so smart, so clever. The design of this was just fantastic. Now, just to give you a brief summary of it, everyone plays completely differently. You're trying to work together to make sure Rome doesn't get invaded, but individually you're trying to earn the most points. The emperor has a lot of responsibility about keeping the people happy, keeping them fed, and generally trying to keep the country running. The heir, which in our first game I was playing as, has a lot more freedom. You can do what you want. You're kind of rich, you make a lot of money, you can spend money as much as you want, and it's no real consequence. You can just do what you want to do. However, when the emperor dies, which happened in our game that we played, Lindsay was the emperor and died. I then became the emperor. All of a sudden I had all this responsibility on me, and I felt like I'd gone from this bratty, I want everything sort of kid into being like, I'm in way over my head, I don't know what I'm doing, I wasn't ready for this, to be having to be the emperor all of a sudden. And that was what really, really cinched this game for me as being a top 10 game of this year, because it was just so clever and it really worked.
Alright, moving on to number 9 is Villainous. Now, we haven't reviewed this one, but we've been playing it and we love it. It's a competitive card game where each of the people around the table are playing as different Disney villains that you're probably very familiar with. And you each will have your own abilities. You'll play slightly differently and kind of your own like end goals, different ways to end the game in your favor. And it's fun, and you're influencing people a lot with your cards. There's a lot of take that going on, and it's just fun. It's a lively game. You're definitely getting involved in each other's business.
It really works, and it surprised me how much you've enjoyed this, because you typically don't like, neither of us really like it, but the take that mechanics, it just works in this game because it feels like you are a villain.
Yeah.
So, our number 8 game, we have reviewed this one. It's a cooperative game called Cat Rescue. The theme is that you are getting cats that are out on the street, getting them into foster homes, and then getting them adopted. It's a really nice theme. It's very charming artwork, and it just works really well. There's a 4x4 grid, and you'll be playing cat cards into this grid that will push everything along the row or column that you place in, depending on the direction that you put it into. You have to work together. It's a really cool spatial puzzle of trying to get cats into a row so that you can eventually start pushing them off the edge and getting them adopted. And you're just trying to get the highest score you can at the end of the game. Really, really nice game.
Yeah. Right, number 7 is actually 2 games. And the reason for that is because they are pretty similar, and we haven't played them enough to be able to determine what order they should be in. So that's going to be Chronicles of Crime and Detective. Now, they're both detective stories where you're trying to solve a crime, but with Chronicles of Crime, you've got this interesting aspect where you're using the app in your phone to scan the cards, items that you find at the scene, and you can even look through your phone to sort of see what's going on at the scene of the crime. It's fun, good way to solve crimes, really gets you into the game. Detective, slightly different in that you can still use your phone, like an app on your phone, or you can use the website. But essentially you're building this library of knowledge as you learn more about this crime that's happened and as it all unfolds. And it's neat because you can use real life information as well to solve this crime. So they're both very interesting, really good thinkers. But we just haven't played them enough to know what order. So they're both 7.
Yeah, we love mystery crime sort of games where you're solving stuff like this. And they're so brilliant. They're just such great ideas. And yeah, we're excited to keep playing these. Yeah. Now, in the same way that we've only played those games pretty much once each, and so we're not sure exactly where they're going to rank overall, our number 6 is the same sort of thing. We've not played it enough to say definitively it's going to be really high up or anything like that, but we know already that we really like this game, and it's Holding On: The Troubled Life of Billy Kerr. We did play this game, a prototype of it, at the UK Games Expo, and it won our game of the show. It was such a great experience playing it, and we've really enjoyed our time so far in the campaign that we now own the game. Now, this game, you are basically trying to take care of this man called Billy Kerr, who's had a heart attack, and he is going to die. So you need to give him medical care to kind of keep him alive as long as you can, but palliative care to try and learn about him and hear his stories, because he has a troubled life and he wants to unload that. He wants to die peacefully. So he will give you these nuggets of information, and your job is to find the overall story, the bigger picture. It's a campaign game, so we've not seen a lot of it really, but it's just already really grabbed us and gripped us, and it's such a great game, and it plays really nice. So that's Holding On: Troubled Life of Billy Kerr.
Number 5 is a word game, and we love word games, but this one's really fun because it's a little different. It's called Decrypto. Now, the reason I say it's different is because instead of getting your team to guess a word like a lot of word games are, they already know the word, they can see them, but they have been given these codes, different numbers for the words. And each round, those numbers will be in different order, and you're trying to communicate the order to your team without revealing too much about the word that the other team will guess the order of the numbers.
It's hard to explain.
It's a challenging game. It's a lot harder than you would imagine a word game would be, but we've loved it. It's really good.
Similar to that is a game that we have purchased, but we haven't yet played, called Trap Words. Now, already we feel like this game probably would have been in our top 10 around about this level. We might have even put like a /Decrypto/Trap Words.
But we can't say it for sure because we haven't played it yet. We watched the how to play it from Paul on Gaming Rules, and we know we're going to love it, but we just can't put it in here because we've not played it yet.
Yeah, so we might end up at some point covering that in a future video. So we just wanted to sort of throw that little thing.
So number 5 is Decrypto.
Yeah. Now, our number 4 game is Keyforge. Keyforge is a collectible card game, kind of. You probably know about it, but if you don't, Keyforge is a game where you don't buy booster packs, you don't buy singles, you don't trade individual cards, you buy a deck. So you get a fully made 36 card deck that is made up of 3 of 7 possible houses in the game, and you get 12 cards from each of those houses. That's it. You buy a deck and you have to use that unless you buy a new one. Now, the cool thing about this is that a computer has made this. The designer has put together a bunch of different cards, a bunch of different logic and rules for the game, and the computer takes all that into consideration and knows, okay, if I start giving them these cards, well, these cards are going to be pretty interesting too. We should throw those in and see what sort of deck that makes. The computer applies logic. It tries to avoid making conflicting card combinations. Every deck is unique. I think they've said that the closest any two decks can get is to within 3 cards, and even that is so unlikely just due to the sheer number of combinations. It's really, really cool. And the thing I love about this game is that you like this game.
Yeah.
This made Lindsay's top 5. When we wrote our individual lists, I was very surprised to see this so high. It's because I think you've played it a lot now.
Yeah.
You've gotten more comfortable with it. And I think, because Lindsay used to hate playing card games, deck builders and other CCGs, collectible card games, you just never enjoyed them, really. And I think now that you're a bit more comfortable playing card games and games in general, now that we own this, huge collection of games, I think, and just sticking with it has allowed you to sort of see the appeal to a game like that. So yeah, Keyforge, great game.
Right, number 3, we have The Mind. Now, we did review this one a while back, and we still love it to this day. We played it a little bit over Christmas with our family, and it went down a treat. It's more of an experience than a game. Essentially, everyone around the table is working together to play cards in numerical order from like 1 to 100, and but you can't talk. And so it's a silent game of body language and just sort of like figuring out the timing of playing these cards. And it's so much fun. Can be frustrating depending on the group of people that you're with, but can be a delight if you're with the right people. So that's The Mind.
Now, our number 2, this was very close to being number 1. This was actually when we did our individual lists, my number 1. And our eventual number 1 was my number 2. So they were really close. But our number 2 is Escape the Dark Castle. Now, we'll get it out of the way because you'll probably look at the Board Game Geek page and be like, hang on a sec, that says 2017. So I tried to figure out what was going on because I was sure it came out 2018. And so I was looking into it, and it seems like it kickstarted in 2017, and some people received their copies of the game at the end of 2017, like the last day of December. And so I think that's why Board Game Geek has it listed as a 2017 release. However, I contacted Themeborn, because we were writing this list and I thought it's got to be right. So I contacted Themeborn, the people that made and produced and published this game, and they have said definitively, absolutely, is a 2018 release. So we felt comfortable putting it on there, and it's our list, so we can do whatever we want. Now, this game is a game of cooperation and storytelling and decision making and dice rolling. Very chaotic. You basically assemble a deck of 15 like dungeon castle cards that are all pretty much bad. You've got to fight things you don't want to fight and make decisions you don't want to make. And if you can do all of that, make all the cards, make it through all the cards, you then have to face the boss of the castle. Someone very powerful, really just tries to kill you. And if you can defeat him before even one person has died, then you win and you escape. We've only done that a few times because it's very difficult.
It's hard. It's really hard.
We love this game. This was the game we used as our first Let's Play because we just like it so much. Every group we've shown this game to has loved it. They've wanted to play it more and more. If we go and re-see people that we played it with, they're always like, did you bring that game? So yeah, it's a great, great game. We love this one.
So that's Escape the Dark Castle. Okay. Right, so our final game, top of the list, number 1, is Welcome to. This is one that we recently reviewed, and it's a flip and fill game where essentially you are designers of your own little neighborhoods, and you're trying to make the best neighborhood, earn the most points. And you do that by flipping these cards out, which will give you options for what house number to put in your neighborhood, because you got to get them in order. And like what kind of power you can use when you use that house number. And it'll get you different points and help you achieve different things in your neighborhood. That's essentially the game when it boils down to it. And it's so much fun. It's light enough that you can teach it to somebody who's pretty new to board games, but it's meaty enough that you can easily get somebody who's used to board games into it, and they'll be satisfied as well, because there's enough things to think about when you're assigning these numbers to the houses in your neighborhood. It's so much fun. We couldn't find anything wrong with it.
No, it would get the stamp of behind the box approval.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not that it doesn't exist, but if it did, then yeah, we loved that. game so much. We gave it as Christmas gifts.
We did.
And
Yeah.
it's gone over really well.
Yeah.
So that's it. That is our top 10 list. Do you agree with the ordering or the decisions we've made? Would you change things? You probably will. Let us know down below in the comments what would go into your top 10 or what you would put in a top 5 or whatever. Because we'd love to know what other people think of 2018 as a gaming year. Now, on to the giveaway. The game that we will be giving away is Cat Rescue. Now, this is a game that, like we said, we reviewed earlier this year, and we just loved it. It was so nice, such a sweet game. And we were sent, what we had when we did the review was a prototype. What we've been sent is an actual Kickstarter production copy of the game for ourselves to keep, and a second one so that we can give it away to you lovely viewers. It also includes the Kickstarter expansions and add-ons and things like that. So you'll get the full package there. So I think you're going to really like it. The way that you can enter it is be subscribed to the channel and then send an email. I'll leave our email in the description of this video. Send us an email, put the subject as Cat Rescue, and then in the body of the email, give us your YouTube username so that we can match
Check
people
that
together.
you're subscribed.
Yeah.
You stinkers.
And if you want to leave us a message or anything, do that too, that's fine. And yeah, we will, on the 1st of February, pick a winner, and then we will email you. We're not going to pick by choice, we're just going to randomize the option there. And then we'll email you back on the email that you use so that we can get your address, and we'll ship it anywhere in the world because we think people are going to really like this game. We've definitely had a lot of fun with this one. So yeah.
So thanks for sticking with us in 2018.
We can't wait for 2019. The games that come out this year, can't even imagine how great they're going to be.
They're going to be amazing.
Yeah. If you want to know more about all these games that we've mentioned today, then we'll leave links in the description to the Board Game Geek pages, as well as any reviews and Let's Plays and videos that we've done on these, so you can find out more information about them if you're interested. And we'll leave links to our social media as usual. But until the next time, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Wow. A good hour 12 right there. And the lights haven't dimmed.
Yay! Watch the way I gravitate. Ha 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 ha!